Blessed day, welcome back. Now, in the spirit of Mental Health Monday and where we are, looking at where we are in the world, it's easy to see that there's a lot of chaos in our external environment. We talked in the previous segments about how environment, in terms of the season, affects our well-being. If you haven't realized or figured out that relationships play a big role in mental health and well-being, I implore you to think about your relationships, the concept of relationship and what is relationship. Uh, Tai Chi for me and Tai Chi training and study helped to unravel concepts, feelings, sensations, embodiment, skill, and training of the concept of relationship. It doesn't have to deal with, your marriage, your spouse, your family, but also to nature, to your own body, to the things that you look up to or the people that you look up to, the your device, the relationship to your device. But relationship has to do with energy exchange. In Qigong, we understand that we're always exchanging energy and interfacing with things. As mentioned, we're looking for quality and quantity of health and well-being. We want the quality of well-being and we want the quantity of energy as well. And relationships play a big role. Um, I'll share a video of the reading from my teacher's book, Embryonic Breathing, the first page that highly influenced me to study and meditate. And what he outlines is our history of warring, finding peace, harmony, and mostly in the Chinese history. But we know in the history of the world that there's been a lot of war and there's been a lot of trial and tribulation. And even still today, we see that relationships hang in the balance of peace and the ability and inability to harmonize in the larger world, whether it's large nations, large powers, or within our own states, our United States, in our own communities, or even in our own households. And the Chinese tradition talks about, and the Qigong tradition talks about the body as a battlefield, where you have the mind as the general, and it leads the blood as soldiers to combat the health and illness, rather, I should say, to combat any illness or injury that could be imposed upon the body. And so the body is a battlefield. The mind is the general, and the blood and the chi are the foot soldiers. And so that in and of itself kind of also portrays the concept of relationship and the importance of the harmony in regards to civility. And so what I want to do is introduce the concepts of dispute resolution systems. So for me, I realized, and we'll talk about more about this on Thursday, on Resolution Thursday. It's my understanding that we need more resolutionaries rather than revolutionaries. So this helps to kind of paint a concept, paint an idea of how we evolve and how we choose to evolve moving forward in the larger world. I've I've developed a ebook and a workshop series called Yin Yang Tai Chi, which I consider a peace movement. And we talked about in terms of mental health how these practices, these ancient practices, help to control or build those conditions of mental well-being through a bottom-up approach, through the body, and to influence the mind. And Yin Yang Tai Chi takes really simple movements to help do that. And so I would encourage you to reach out and book a call, because I have a ebook ready to send, and also courses that are available on yinyangtaichi.org. Again, you can book a call and we can talk more in depth. I'd love to do a free consultation for 30 minutes, and there's more options here. So how do we preserve civility in our world? And I ask you, what are your dispute resolution systems that you're working on should you be challenged in today's world? We often think of the well, what I've come to realize is that we kind of suffer from a little bit of moral fatigue, always faced with these questions of right and wrong. What is right and what is wrong with this current scenario that's being blasted through the media streams and into your sphere and into your consciousness? And so when we have to continue to try to decipher and discern what's right and what's wrong, we get what we call a moral fatigue. And that really drains the energy. And think about what we talked about in the previous segment in terms of the kidney energy, and how in this winter time we're kind of supposed to draw in and preserve energy, and how the kidneys are associated with fear. If you have stimulation that brings about fear and that's causing you anxiety, you're not preserving, but you're actually wasting vitality. And so all the more reason to draw in to meditation for your own personal well-being outside of the larger world and what's going on in the larger world. So for me, what I've started to study in the past 6 and 7 years is mediation. And that helps me to have a system for my personal disputes and conflict resolution, so that I have something to look to, and a path to follow as someone who desires deep relationship with my household, my family, friends, and my community at large. This is an emotional self-management routine, how to early detect a calming routine. And this is something that I think we all should take note of. What are the first signs that let you know that you're triggered? How do you know when you are triggered? What does being triggered feel like to you? And what's your calming routine, right? How can we support one another? Hey, I noticed you're feeling anxious, and I got triggered by this. Did you get triggered? Let's support one another in a calming routine, right? If you'd like to get a copy of this, let me know. This is from one of my mentors, from whom I learned mediation. Another modality that I study is NVC, nonviolent communication. Think about all of the conflicts that we see in our world. According to Marshall Rosenberg, nonviolent communication originator, it only takes 20 minutes for a conflict to resolve. after each person has seen the needs that are not being met from the other person. So two persons are in conflict. If those two persons can see the needs that aren't being met from one another, it should only take 20 minutes to resolve that conflict. Think about these long-standing conflicts that we have. Do you have any long-standing conflicts in your life, in your family that you maybe avoid, or maybe you feel like you want to engage and you just don't feel like you have the know-how, the skill, or the ability to engage in something that's, just kind of eating at your heart and taking mental energy. Well, there are ways to resolve conflict. There are ways to engage in difficult conversations in a way that's heartfelt, sincere, and gets to the crux of the issue in ways that both sides can be heard. I love to talk about these things. I consider martial arts a dispute resolution system. If you think about it, wushu, coming from Chinese Mandarin language, means to stop the weapon. Martial arts is for self-defense, right? We know it's not for fighting. So it's a dispute resolution system when force is exerted in the physical realm. But we often see how, even like, for example, culture wars, ideologies and ideological wars and culture wars persist. And if we can come to a place where we can transcend the divide, we can find a better path towards mental health, mental well-being, and relational health and relational well-being, so long as we can learn to harmonize. And I think, and I felt, and I've experienced how these ancient modalities, yin yang, tai chi, and qigong, when we practice them inside, we meditate and contemplate and do actually physical movements, we can learn to interface with our loved ones and with our community and with one another in a way that is harmonious. I like to think of this as connection, communication for the sake of harmony. yinyangtaichi.org. You can find free resources, and I can even send you an ebook, or you can book a call. Love to hear from you. Direct message me, comment below, however you'd like. What do you use? I'd love to hear and get more resources about what you use in your personal life that allows you to move through life, engage in relationship, to harmonize and live in peace. Let me know. Look forward to hearing from you.